Welcome back to Fantasy TV, where we get the inside scoop on your real passion, dig deep into your aspiration, and make that fantasy dream become a reality. Today's fantasy is about a woman who's carving her own path down entrepreneurship, from writing children's books, teaching the value of financial literacy, to becoming the first generation millionaire in her family, even partnering with the Department of Education. A mother, a wife, and most importantly, a believer in God. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Coach Tanisha.
Hey, everybody. I am so excited to be here.
Hey, all right, so talk to me. What brings you up to my platform?
So we actually connected through another one of my colleagues and through their platform. And they was like, oh, you should come on his platform. And, one thing led to another. You came to my event and it was like, all right, Corey's a vibe. So I was like, all right, let me come, share some knowledge.
No, thank you. I appreciate that. Let's talk about the first time I met you. This was Royal Connections, right? When you were a speaker, correct?
Yeah.
So how was your experience there? Speaking in front of the youth, was you nervous or are you used to that?
I've been an entrepreneur for 13 years.
So a regular day for Coach T.
I talk to everybody all day.
Who did you get to meet from that day? Besides me, of course, but who else did you get to make a connection?
It was a young girl who was inspiring to be she wanted to do something with the Super Bowl. I forgot what her name was, but she was
broadcasting.
Yeah, she was doing something. She was a young girl. She was like 23. She was going to school. She was telling me everything. And then I met another young man, and he had a book. And he was kind of asking me about relationships and because he wasn't sure if he wanted to be with his girlfriend because she wasn't supporting his dreams and stuff. And I'm like, bro, ain't nothing else out here. If she been with you, then keep her. So 2 people. I mean, probably some more people. But those are the 2 people that, basically stood out for me.
No, that's what's up. Definitely. Shouts out to Royal Connections, and hopefully we get to have more speakers like yourself come up on the platform. But let's talk to me a little bit more about your background. Upbringing. Are you a Queens native or? Talk to me. What's up?
Yeah, I'm born and raised in Queens, New York.
Rosedale. What side?
Like the Hollis area. But I'm always in Valley Stream because my office is in Valley Stream. Right. But I grew up in Queens. I went to York College, graduated York College, and I went to Queensborough College. Graduated from there also. So I have 2 degrees. I have an associate's degree and I also have a bachelor's degree of arts. And growing up, I had a bunch of cousins. My grandmothers took care of me. My aunts and uncles, they spoiled me. So I was really like a spoiled brat, honestly.
I saw you say a bunch of cousins. Siblings, brothers, sisters?
Brothers, sisters, cousins. My family's big, so it was always all of us together. My aunt, she didn't have no kids, so we always go to her house. Or my grandmother, we would just go to her house. Just have fun, do kid stuff, get in trouble,
You know what I mean?
The regular, regular stuff.
So talk to me. Were you always did you come from a family of entrepreneurs or no? Were you the first one to?
Yeah, honestly, my dad was a hustler. So my dad hustled. He had 4 baby mothers. Everybody wanted him. My uncle is a pastor. And so that's hustling. He does different churches. And my cousins and more cousins, they're all entrepreneurs. They got their own tax businesses. They got their own real estate businesses. So entrepreneurship is in my bloodline.
No, definitely, that's what's up. So it wasn't far-fetched for you to talk to your parents, oh, hey, I'm going to do this myself.
Well, in high school, actually, my mom taught me how to crochet. And crocheting is actually a great skill to have because you can make anything with crocheting. So I used to make scarves and hats.
That's fire.
And I used to, on the way to school, I used to have the crocheting, get my crocheting. They used to call me Crochet T. And I used to crochet the scarves and the hats.
And that was your hustle for high school?
That was I used to make $200 a week. I thought I was rich.
Fire.
I thought I was rich. I ain't even going to hold you. I was like, yo, I got bread, I got money. Listen, I was good, and everybody was coming to me. People was buying for their mother, they was buying for their aunts. My principals was buying, teachers was buying.
So it's definitely been something from the upbringing. It's in the blood, from the family to their adolescent ages when you were in high school selling stuff. Now I love that. Talk to me about your parents' relationship. How big was that for you?
Well, I never really had so my dad died when I was 3. Well, he was murdered when I was 3. I never really had a good relationship with my mom, but my grandparents and my aunts kind of raised me. My mom, she was doing her thing or whatever. She's trying to find her way. So we wasn't really with her. But my grandmothers, my mother, father, and my mother's mother, we was always together. My aunts and my uncles, they always took us places, went to Coney Island, went to Rod Playland, went here, went there. So I really was brought up by my grandmothers and my aunts and uncles.
No, that's what's up. I definitely wanted to piggyback off of that. So you brought up being raised by your grandparents, and I thought this was a trait. I always realized people who are raised by their grandparents, they grow up quicker. Like they're very more mature. They'll have certain things together at an early age. Like someone, like I have a friend who lives with you know what I'm saying, live with their grandparents through high school, had their license at 16, 17, doing adulting. You know what I'm saying? They have maturity at a very early age. Do you agree with that?
Well, yeah, because the grandparent is not afraid to let you go because they done did it with their kids.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? My grandmother has 6 kids. She let them all go, do what they do. So when it came to me, it wasn't like, oh no, you can't do this, don't be scared to do this. My grandmother, whatever you want to do it.
I love that free will spirit.
That's it. And both my grandmothers was like that. Like, just do whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, whatever makes you happy, long as it's legal, long as, it's making you happy and, you can help others. So that's really the vibe my grandmothers gave me the whole time.
That's what's up. Now, what was the fashion sense for Coach T growing up? What brands were you wearing?
Air Max, heavy.
Air Max, okay.
Tommy Hilfiger, heavy. I had a couple Coogee sweaters that I had to bribe my aunt get for me. But yeah, like I was an Air Max girl. I wore Air Maxes, all the time. And, like the leather coats, I wore those all the time. And then we had like a whole clique of girls that wore different Air Maxes. Like every month we was getting a new pair of Air Max. So,
that's fine.
And Felines.
Y'all treated Air Maxes like Jordans back then.
Yeah, Felines too. Felines was it too.
All right, now we're going to piggyback off of background for a second. Let's talk to me about entrepreneurship. Your first time when you left your regular 9-to-5 job, do you remember that when that experience happened?
I actually got fired.
Okay, so you didn't leave it. Okay.
I didn't leave.
Huh?
I got fired. So I actually went to school to be a math teacher, but I couldn't pass the tests. Come to find out that the test was biased. A lot of teachers sued for over $100,000. Right? But I always wanted to teach, but I didn't have enough credits. So I became a social worker. I had the credits to be a social worker. So I ended up working for ACS and a nonprofit. And at first I kind of liked it, but after seeing like nobody really wanted to do nothing, everybody just wanted to stay on the government. They just wanted to, stay on their Section 8. That kind of just made me depressed every day. I used to be 350 pounds, believe it or not. Like, I used to be depressed. And it was like, how I'm coming home every day feeling like this. Like, I wasn't good to my husband. I wasn't good to my kids. And when they fired me, I really felt like the world was lifted off of my shoulders.
You were happy when you got
I was happy. Like, I was running home. Like, baby, I got fired. He looking at me like,
everything okay?
Who's happy that they got fired? Like me, for real. Like I really felt like
if it's not a place you don't love, I understand why.
Yeah, and I mean I liked it because I had like good supervisors, but the work itself was not it for me. I could not see myself doing that for 30 years.
Understandable. So from there, so they gave you the boy, and then you said, "I'm gonna partake in college," and this led to what?
Well, college, I did college, and I got the job. Once they fired me, then I was into real estate, and my cousin introduced me to network marketing. So network marketing is like the Avons, the Melaleucas, the TLC, stuff like that. And I learned a lot, and I feel like, and even today when I teach in the schools, I tell the kids, try network marketing too, because it teaches you leadership skills. It teaches you how to recruit. It teaches you how to get over rejection.
In fact, the kids can start selling chocolates at their school, cookies. You know what I'm saying? Girl Scout cookies. That counts as an example.
Yeah. So it's definitely, once I got fired, I really had to find my way because I just had my baby. I just got married. It was like, what do you do? But thank God that I have a great husband. My husband literally took care of all the bills while I was on unemployment for 3 years. And this is when Obama was in office. So we was getting unemployment for 2-3 years. Like, it wasn't stopping. So I was grateful for that too. But I also had to level up. Right? You can't stay at $200 a week, for the rest of your life. So I definitely had to level up. I had to get some mentors. I had to start reading books, changing my mindset, just going around the right people, that want to see me, do good. So that's really how I really started this whole entrepreneur journey.
No, definitely. I appreciate that answer. Now, who was your mentor growing up in this process?
So Chanel Burt and Aaron Burt, so shout out to them. We still connected to this day. Like, they was millionaires coming to my house because we was doing network marketing. It was like, listen.
Okay.
Yep. It was a company called ACN. And they was coming to my house. They was pulling up in Rolls Royce. They was pulling up in Range Rovers. I'm like, y'all coming to see me in this? Like, what? This was like, I'm a whole millionaire. Like, but you come to my house. So that really started to, I'm like, I need to see what they really doing, how y'all really making money. So and then I started, doing stuff online, trying to build my business online. Then I found the whole online community is a whole nother beast. Like you got to learn how to run ads. You got to know how to attract people,
SEO,
marketing,
all of that.
SEO, blogging, building your list, emails. So I learned all of that stuff, like in my time of trying to figure it out. So I learned a lot about marketing, and I had a good mentor that was like, listen, all you really got to do is get yourself in position. And this is what I teach people now today, is how to get yourself in position to win.
I appreciate that. Now, talk to me. What books like helped you get along this process?
There's so many books. 3 Feet from Gold is
You remember the author? That could be, yeah.
I don't remember the author, but
Cool.
3 Feet from Gold is basically saying never stop digging, right? Never stop working, never stop hustling, right? Never stop going after, your passion, right? And the 48 Laws of Power with 50 Cent and Robert Greene. I also listened to Robert Kiyosaki, growing up, and he actually helped me to actually change my mind, because there is a rich dad and there is a poor dad. For real. So you really gotta, understand, these things. And then once you start to transform your mind and you start to understand, like, if it's gonna happen, it's up to me that it's gonna happen, right? And you can't have outside forces, your mom, your dad, all that stuff. Nah, it's you and God against the world. Like, you gotta make things
Your own
happen.
personal battle.
And you got to make things work. So, I just really started delving myself into personal development and growth. And, really, I just started to, evolve. Yeah.
No, that's what's up. Now, I feel like this next question you already answered, but your first business venture you tried, but you brought it before, network marketing.
It was network marketing. Network
right.
marketing taught me so much about leadership, so much about recruiting people, understanding how people work, how money works. Like, of course, we didn't learn anything about money
In school, so you got
nothing.
experience that yourself from your first venture that you tried.
Right. So I learned a lot about money, how money works, how money is made, how you spending money, all of that stuff. Like, it's a lot to know. It's literally layers to understanding how money is made.
No, definitely.
Literally.
Yeah. Now, let me see. Yes, do you ever think it wasn't going to work out? A time where you faced doubt?
Of course, there's plenty times, because although I have entrepreneurship in my bloodline, my family wasn't supportive. Like, my husband either. He was like, you got fired, so we got 2 kids, we got a crib.
We got to do something.
We got bills, $300 ain't going to rock over here. So it was a battle. Me and my husband used to argue all the time. Then my mom used to come over, give me job applications. My aunt was sending me jobs. And I'm like, bro, I don't want no job, bro. I just got fired from a job I don't.
So why go back to a new job that you also about
My
to hate?
aunt was trying to get me to go back to college, go get my master's degree. I said, what?
More
Why
debt.
would I go back to I was through. So really, I kind of cut everybody off, and I was like, you know what? It's me and God against the world. Like, I got to make this thing rock. And I just stuck with my online community. That's why community is so key. Right? Community is so key, because those are the people that helped me, right? When, I was crying, like, you know what? I think I should just go get a job. Like, they was like, nah, you crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, you crazy. You're not going to make this type of money, at no job. So,
Hourly, definitely.
yeah, so it was definitely a mindset shift, but I had to believe in me. Right? I had to believe that I could change the world. Now I'm changing the world, but I had to believe that at first, right, to be able to do that. So, this is just what brought me, to all the stuff that I'm doing now. Like, I feel like everything prepares you, right, for what you truly want to do.
No, definitely. I can agree with you hands down with that. But piggybacking off of community, I want to bring up your Women's Wealth and Wellness event that you throw. This is now your 4th annual one.
Well, this is the third.
The 3rd annual one. Now, talk to me. For someone who's thrown women's empowerment events annually, talk to me about the process of how do you go about getting all these women together in one room?
It's not easy. Trust when I tell you that.
People be busy, work schedules, parents, we have other lives going on. So how do you make this work?
Like I talked about community, right? And I'm an influencer in real life, right? Not just social media. So people value my opinion, right? And I connect with the right people, right? I connect with heavy hitters. I connect with principals, superintendents, council members, people like that. And then I know how to market. Remember, I learned how to market online. And if you learn how to market online, it's the same thing offline, except for you physically are now dealing with people. So I learned all of that stuff, and I just learned how to get connected to the right people, got connected to the right people, and now we just do marketing. Like, we just market, and then people just started coming like, oh, I want to help, I want to help, I want to help for free. I'm like, really? Okay, let's make this work then. Now I got a whole team that every time I do events, they on board.
I love that.
Yeah.
Do you share a personal relationship with the women who you invite on stage?
Yeah. Tina, you got her book.
Yes.
Definitely her. Her daughter just had a baby. Shout out to her, and her new baby that she has. Pastor Tina, she's definitely amazing. She does events all day long. She's a retired correction officer. Like, she does a lot too.
Nah, definitely. Check
so
out her
definitely-
new, of course, and check out her newest book, The Black Wildflower, available on all streaming platforms, Amazon, and even Barnes and Nobles if needed. Of course.
And then my girl Asada, I met her at an event, and then me and her just been like rocking ever since. Like, and she's powerful, and the girl's only like 30 years old. She's very powerful, and she helps everybody. Like, yeah, that's her calling. That's her calling. I only really want to be connected to people that's connected to God, because I realize that, on this entrepreneur journey, it's spiritual. Right, you can't be trying to go against the grain and thinking you winning. No, it's spiritual. God opens up all doors.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
And you also have an all-woman staff who you employ at these events. How important is it for you to have an all-woman staff? Not to say you're biased against men, but how important is it for you to hire only women?
Well, women, black women, we're the most disrespected. We're the most hated against, right? So it's like they never get to see us really together winning. Right? So my vision is to always have women on board right alongside me winning. Whether it's a new woman, like I have a new assistant, like she couldn't come today, have a new assistant, like she's at one of the schools right now because I can't be there, right? Cool. So I'm training people to do things, right? So this is all a part of my legacy also, right? Where now my vision is to empower us so that other people can see that we are empowering each other, and other people just want to come and get on board too. Right? So, I empower men too, but, again, women, we're literally at the bottom of the totem pole for real.
Nah, of course, I agree with you.
And salaries, everything.
For real.
Getting married, everything.
Now, what is like your research process when hitting up these entrepreneurs and speakers that you have on your platform? Like, how do you search for them?
I'm telling you, bro, like, I just ask.
You just, I'm my homegirl from high school. We grew up together. I see her doing her thing. Let me reach out to her.
Well, here's the thing. As you grow as a person and as an entrepreneur, the people that you grew up with ain't with you because they ain't doing what you're doing.
You've grown up. Okay. New face, new friends.
So all new people that I knew maybe 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, and all I do is text, call, because they already know what I'm about. Right? So they support my mission, right? And that's important too. You got to get around people that support your mission, right? And what you're doing, because they're going to promote you. Right? Without you even ask, can you share this? Nah, they're going to do it by default, right? They're going to talk about your name, right, when you're not there. So all I got to do is send a text. Hey, babe, I'm doing another event. Would you be interested to be? Oh, yes.
Easy. Hands down. Why would I not?
Right. But I'm favored by God, too, so.
Now, I realized you you put a lot of emphasis towards, you just met these people 2-3 years ago, new friends. Do you still... not to say that you still value, but your high school friends or friends from past childhood life, do you still have a connection with them?
Yeah, some of them, but we don't rock because we don't have the same.
You don't have the same values, not chasing towards the same goal.
I like to talk about traveling. I like to talk about making money. I like to talk about God. They complain all the time. Now, I have some friends that I'm, still close with. We still hang out, but we still can't really talk about the things that me and my entrepreneur friends talk about. So it's different levels to everything. But, you keep your friends in certain places, right? You don't cut everybody off because you're going to need people. I tell my kids this, you need people. You can't just cut everybody off and then, when something shit hit the fan.
I need you back, friend.
Now I need you back to come. Nah, just, keep people in their places.
Nah, definitely, of course.
That's it.
Now, you have 2 products in front of you. I would love for you to speak about the first one. The ABCs of Wealth Building. Yep. Please talk to me about this children's books that you have out already now.
So this is my baby. And being an entrepreneur, I learned so much about money. Right? I learned, that it's not how much you make, it's how much you actually keep and grow. Right. So on this journey, literally, I made over like $4 million in sales. So that doesn't equate to actual profit, but sales overall. But I actually made $2 million, but I blew it. Right. Because I didn't know what to do with it. I was just buying stuff. Me and my friends going now. I'm buying this Benz. I'm buying that car. So I blew the money. And after I realized, like, I just had $2 million and I had like 30 grand in the bank. And I'm like, I'm literally broke right now. So I had to figure out, like, okay, what is my next steps to try to now start sustaining myself? Because fast money goes fast. And I made that money on Amazon. Amazon gets to the bag, okay? I made that money so quick and it went even faster. So I had to literally sit down with myself and be like, sis, you just made all this money. Where is it at? Didn't have it. So I realized that we didn't learn anything about money. So we have to start with the children, right? The children need to know because eventually they're going to be adults, right? And they got to, go out into the world and do whatever they do. And I teach the kids now that money's power. And the reason that they didn't teach us about money in school is because money is power. Like, money allows you to have power. So my book is called The ABCs of Wealth Building.
Yes.
And my daughter Cheyenne, who is turning 16 next month, she's the co-author. And this is building wealth in real time, right? So I'm an author, she's the co-author. So now she don't have any fear of writing a book. So I know people that's, even my aunt, she's been wanting to write a book for 25 years. Like, what are you waiting for? Right? But she has the fear, right, of succeeding or fear of failure. So my daughter doesn't have that fear anymore. But this book breaks down understanding the steps of wealth building, of credit, of success, of giving, right? We never learned how to give. And right now, this book is in about 20 schools. We probably sold over 5, 6, 7,000 copies.
That's what's up. Salute.
Of it. We got it in some libraries. And now I'm working with the state Department of Education. We're praying that this administration don't get rid of it.
Fingers crossed.
And now I want to get this book into literally all the schools in New York City. So actually, I'm going next Thursday to talk to them about getting this book into all of the schools so it can be at least in the library of the schools.
Now, I wanted to highlight your improvements. I remember a video you spoke about at the beginning. You said this book was only at 10 schools. Now we're at 20.
Yeah.
That's an additional 10.
Yeah.
That's a quick improvement. How did you get your book notarized in all these different public schools?
Favorite, bro. I'm telling you. And I'm a hustler.
Right. That and I don't think there are a lot of women, you know what I'm saying, authors who are teaching about financial literacy to children. So
But
why
at the
not
same
put this
time,
inside the
too,
school?
But at the same time, too, I talk to a lot of people, right? I go to a lot of events, right? Events is like everything. And I get connected. I'm connected to a couple of the superintendents right now. I'm connected to how many principals, and they love it. They're like, all right, well, come to my school. Like, I want you to come do a financial literacy, like, whatever. I got a whole workshop. I'm working with My Brother's Keeper, right? That's an Obama initiative. I'm working with those guys. Like, I'm teaching them about money. I'm teaching the teachers about money. I'm teaching the principals about money. So I'm just really in my lane, right? There's no traffic. And I'm just grateful because this is what I literally was born for. I was born to be able to now help myself build wealth, but also my people.
No, I love that. Now, the second product.
Yeah.
This one is for the adults.
Yeah.
Okay to talk to me about this one?
Well, this could be for like teenagers.
Okay, teenagers
also
as well.
Too. So being that I made $4 million in sales on Amazon, I can teach somebody how to make $100, $200, $1,000. So I just put this in a book because when I'm working in the schools, I have the parents saying, oh, what do you have for the parents? So this was really on the fly. We took almost 2 years to do this whole book. Did this book in like 30 days. And we just put it up and I started selling it and I started giving it out, to people, and people be buying it, left and right. I got it on Amazon, it's everywhere, so just like my book. It's Walmart, Target, everywhere books are sold. My book is sold. So I give it to the parents when I do the parent workshops. I teach the parents how to become Amazon influencers or Amazon sellers, but not just that. I also give them wealth building principles, right? So I'm not just, let's just make money, because you all can make money, right? But how do we keep money and how do we grow it? So I also go into the Amazon stock, how you can buy the Amazon stock, and what you need to do to really start building, wealth.
No, definitely. I love that. Now, quick question. With all the networking aspects that you've done, do you think it could be possible to have the success that you have without shaking hands, without meeting people in person?
you gotta meet people. You gotta go places. You got to. I wouldn't be here because certain people open up certain doors, right? I wouldn't be able to get through certain doors without meeting certain people, right? So that's really how it works, right? So your net worth, right, is that's how it works, right? So everybody else looking for work, rich people go to network. So that's really the philosophy that I've taken, and I go to events all the time. Like I said, I'm going to Albany. Me and my partner next week to the MBK to talk to the state legislators.
About your book, right?
Like,
So it
I gotta
definitely
do it.
take word of mouth. You have to go outside. You got to hustle. You got to shake hands.
You got to,
Now,
100%.
of course, because imagine if you just spoke about it on social media and we never saw you in person. I would think not like you're bullshitting, but you know what I'm saying. How can I never get to see this person in person?
Now
I
it
want
can
to see.
happen.
I want to see you in person. If you
It
talk
can
about
happen, though.
yeah.
It can happen, but I feel like God has a bigger purpose for me, not just to sit behind the camera, not just to sit behind the computer. Because I was online, I didn't come offline until 2020, until the pandemic. When an ex-friend, her daughter actually launched a business, and we had a first pop-up shop at her house, and everybody sold out. Everybody was excited. Everybody wanted us to do it again. So actually, I do something called the Black Excellence Festival every year. I usually do it in the summer, but now I do it in the winter, which is in December, because I partner with Santa Your Way, and we have Santa come out. We have about 50 vendors come out. We have the whole community come out, and we just basically support Black businesses.
No, that's what's up.
We don't do that enough either. So, that's one of my things that I do. So that's going to be a part of my legacy, the Black Excellence Festival.
You heard it here first. Coach T, the philanthropist. She's for the people. All right, now new topic for a second. We're gonna talk about love right here. This one, your marriage life. You've been married for 15 years. 16 years now. What advice do you have for a newlywed? Right.
Marriage is not easy, but right. So I would tell people that don't put your friends and family in your marriage, right? If you need some advice, go to professionals, because everybody has their own bias about marriage.
I hear this a lot. Don't go to your friends about your relationship
Because
problems.
they're going to discourage you, right? Or they may be the one that's trying to get with your husband, right? So I'd rather just go to a professional that's not biased and just tell me, the real deal. But I had to learn, keep my family out, keep my friends out. I don't be telling my friends, oh, me and my
Because your
husband.
friend is in your interest. She's trying to look out for you, not
Right.
you know what I'm saying. So
Right.
she might throw some shade
Right.
about him. Now you thinking, damn, maybe he don't give a f about me. You know what I'm saying? But
I
listening
don't
to
talk
your
to none of my friends about my marriage. None. I don't care how close we are.
nah. Salute. Take notes, ladies.
I don't.
This is coming from a woman who's married for 16 years. How to keep a man. She could write that book too. Actually.
And we've been together 22 years.
Like, come on now, let's talk about it. Now, of course, every day isn't sunny. How do you handle compromise or fixing an argument?
Well, sometimes, I pray. You're like, I'm into my Bible right now. I'm reading the book of Daniel. It's not easy. All right. And then sometimes you second guess yourself too. Like, oh, I shouldn't have said that to that person. I shouldn't have said this. I should have said it this way. But sometimes you got to take self accountability too. All right. You got to say, okay, well, did you start it? Or, how could we have de-escalated this situation? Like me and my husband used to argue all the time. Right? Like for 8 hours. Now it's like we don't argue because there's no reason to argue now, baby. You my best friend. I love you. You know what I'm saying? Me and you are here on the same team, so why are we arguing, right? So we may have some disagreements, but we don't go to bed mad at each other, like waking up mad at each other. We don't do that no more. So, we had to learn. Everything's a learning curve, right? Nobody want to learn. Everybody want to just get right to it. Everybody want to be 16 years married without doing the work. So
No, that's a fact. Now, this is one advice I have. This is my question to you. When it comes to compromise, let's just say this is an example that's going on for me now. My girl, she's more in her work life and career, right? Police academy. If you're busy or you have a strict 9 to 5 and your time is constructed, how can you make it possible to spend time with your significant other and still run your business? And you know what I'm saying? Make sure your girl still gets your attention.
So, your girl is the police, so my husband is a CO. He's been a CO for like 17 years. It's not easy, right? But
You know that schedule, yeah.
yeah, but when we do have time for each other, we schedule time. Me and my husband travel 4 times out the country a year.
I love that.
Right, so we schedule that time. Like, okay, babe, we going to Jamaica. Okay, we going to Africa. Or we going here. Or we going there. All right, and then we just schedule that time. So even for my birthday's coming up May 18th. So I'm going out with my friends, and then after that, me and him, we going on like a little excursion. So you got to schedule the time out. You know what I'm saying? You got to schedule the time, and then we talk on the phone all the time. Right, we're texting, all the time. Just to keep the lines of communication open. But nothing is easy. Nothing's easy, right? Everybody want everything easy. Microwave, nothing is easy. Everything is work.
If you want that long-lasting relationship, you got to put work in and make it, you know what I'm saying? Have that longevity.
You got to know what he likes. He got to know what you like. And then y'all bring those, those together. So just like I was telling the gentleman at the event, he was like, oh, my girl, she don't really support me trying to do a thing. I'm like, bro, how long you been with? Oh, I've been with her for 2 years. Do you love her? All right, well, bro, like, it's trash out here, bro. Like, listen.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, step out for a second. You gonna walk back in that house, brother. You gonna walk back in that house.
I mean, for my single friends who be telling me, like, bro, men be wanting you to bring them flowers, like, bro.
We about to get it in there.
I'm like, you better
can't relate.
Like, I've been telling some girls, like, get back with your baby father. There's nothing out here. He can't be that bad. You had a baby by him.
You know what I'm saying?
Like,
for real though. Now talk to me about describe your work habits. Do you work good with your significant other around you or separate?
Well, marriage is a business.
Mm-hmm.
So me and my husband first are business partners, right? And understanding that, right? You got to know how to do business, right? We got to know how to pay bills together, right? I got to be able to empower him, inspire him. He got to be able to empower me and inspire me, right? So we just got to know our strengths and weaknesses, right? Like, that's how it really works. I can't be playing the pants and the woman in the relationship. It don't work like that. Right?
You can't have all hats. We all have, you know what I'm saying?
Right. He does his thing. I do my thing. He's the provider. I make sure everything else is good. He comes home. He got a nice meal. The house is clean. Stuff like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Making sure the bills is on time. Like, all of that stuff, right? It's a business. Marriage is a true business, right? You have business partners. And I inspired my husband to start his own business. So now he has a trucking business.
No, that's what's up.
You know what I'm saying? So now he drives. Now he has a whole company where he has employees and they drive and he, helps them out, whenever he can. So, I feel like, it takes two. Right, in the communication. Now, nothing's perfect, but at the same time, too, I feel like my husband was made for me because we've been together for so long. Like, I've learned how to be a woman and a wife to him. He learned how to be a man and a husband to me. Right, so he's tailored to me.
For real, salute. Mm-hmm. Black love, man. I love that. Now, y'all ain't gonna like this one, but I'm gonna switch topics for a little bit. We're gonna get a little bit serious on this one. I want to talk about abuse for a second. How big is it for you to speak up for women who've gone through physical abuse?
So believe it or not, I am a domestic violence survivor. My first daughter's father literally choked me out, threw me down the stairs, blacked both my eyes when I was like 18. And at my women's event, you wasn't there, but I honored one of my elementary school friends named Takira Sproul. Her boyfriend strangled her to death. Now, she is skinny, so it don't take much to strangle her. And she died. So he murdered her. So I honored her at the event. And then next year, I'm planning on doing a whole domestic violence event. So I'm trying to get some sponsors now. So I want to do a whole vibe, the whole thing, the whole food, the honoring, the same thing, except it's going to be for domestic violence survivors.
No, that's beautiful, for real. And would you say it's an easy process to grieve the passing of friends or anything when it comes to this?
Nothing's easy, right? Nothing is easy. I mean, it's just knowing how to handle these emotions, right? Because some people can't sleep. Some people start drinking. Some people get fat. Some people, you got to know how to handle every area of it. Just like financial literacy. You need it at every area of your life. If you're getting married, you're getting a divorce, you're getting a new job, you're getting a new car. You got to know how to handle all of this. That's why therapy. Shout out to my girl Asada.
Therapy, not going to your friends, but a real therapist.
Right. Therapy is key, but there's a shortage of therapists. Because now everybody realizing I need a therapist.
Now they out of ain't that
now they out of therapists.
Now we got no reason to go back to school. Shit.
Out of therapists, right? So my girl Asada, she got her own practice and she works for a company, but she's booked out to September. You can't even get an appointment. Yep.
Salute, man. Shouts out. Now we got a new profession we got to lock in with therapists. Yeah. You heard it here first.
Yeah.
Now, for those going through abusive relationships at home, what advice do you have for them?
Well, seek God. God is our savior. God makes sure that we are strong enough to go through things. But we already know as human beings, right? We have discernment. We know if something is not good for us. Some people just want to stay in abusive relationships or certain situations that they shouldn't be in. We already know what's good for us. If I know this person is not good for me, I need to leave. I need to find a way immediately, not let me take a whole year plan. No, get out, right? Because some people, unfortunately, like my friend Sakira, she didn't make it out. Right. So, I mean, we just got to start making decisions and making right decisions, quick decisions, and not turning back on these decisions.
I definitely am taking note to that for real.
Right.
Of course. Now we're gonna piggyback to a more happier topic. Now we're gonna jump to your relationship with Meeks. How'd you link up with my brother Links?
So Links actually, this is funny. So Links actually came to my yacht party last year. So I rented a yacht last year for my birthday. And I had about 40 of my friends.
That sounds lit. We outside. Part two.
No. That was a lot too. But all my friends came. It was about 40 of them. But it was all, women. And then my friend Faith, she invited him. So that's how I ended up meeting him. And then he had to come to my house and stuff like that. I gave everybody a gift. And then he told me, he was like, yo, I'm a tourist. Like, I love your vibe, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, cool. And then we just started talking, from there. And then he started supporting me. Like, he started coming to my events. And see, I look at stuff like that. Like, are you just around me for clout because you know who I am? Or you really want to support what I'm doing? So Lynx is a real one. So he's definitely, he came to the women's event. He supported, he bought tickets. He sponsored other women, to come to the event. So I look at stuff like that. Like, okay, bro, you know what I'm saying? Like, are you really, on board, with doing, some work? And, he does his own thing. He does entrepreneurship and stuff like that too. So he's really embedded into understanding and doing financial literacy for the people too.
Now, of course, salute to my brother. My fault. We can run it back. Yes, sir. Now, salute to my brother Links for this dope sponsorship. Of course, always showing love to the ladies in the field. Now, I wanted to take this time to shout out to the brands we got up on our episode for today. AU Vodka, of course. We got this new glass, and they sent out a brand new bottle of peach vodka. For all of those looking for a new vodka, get a sweet scent, check out AU Vodka at your nearest liquor store. Ooh, so good. AU, yeah. We gonna run it back though one more time. All right, and I want to take this time to big up all my sponsors for today's episode. We have AU Vodka. They have their newest flavor, peach vodka, just dropped out in all liquor stores. Feel free to check it out at a liquor store near you. Shout out AU Vodka. All right, now talk to me. Any aspirations or plans that you have coming up for your next rest of this year, 2025 season?
Well, I'm planning to go to Africa. I'm planning to go to Jamaica.
Which city?
Ghana. So my husband, his family's from Accra, Ghana. My father-in-law has property and land over there, and he wants us to come invest. So he wants us to really come and see like how we can start investing in some of the land, because Ghana's up and coming. Like, Ghana is amazing. Like,
in terms of fashion, economy, all that.
Everything. Like, and people think Africa's elephants and all that stuff.
That's ignorant. Don't even worry.
It's the whole vibe. So I definitely, I'm planning for that. And then my anniversary is coming up. So we're planning for that. And then I'm planning for my December event, which is going to be the Black Excellence Festival. And my goal is really just to get into more schools, get more school contracts, get the state contract, so that my book can get into all the schools. And, although I've been an entrepreneur for 13 years, I really feel like 2025, I'm just getting started.
Nah, I appreciate that for real. So 2025 is, you feel what I'm saying, full pressure, we locked in for real. In terms of the book, the authoring, the networking events that you do, we're full-fledged locked in.
And I got some events coming up that I'm on the panels and stuff like that too. So people already invited me, to some of the events. So I'm already, on board for that too.
Now we outside respectfully. Now I'm gonna take this time for the second sponsorship for today. I see y'all got this green sweater going on, this green hoodie. Now I want y'all to tap in with Six Shot. All right. Now this is a brand new clothing brand that just came out. Streetwear brand, Six Shot. They got hoodies, sweatsuits, t-shirts, you name it, they got it. And they have a new season. The spring season's about to drop in 2 more days. Check it out right now. We got hoodies, sweatsuits, t-shirts coming out. Six Shot. Shout out my man Skino. We outside respectfully. All right. Now, in terms of social media platforms, where can they find you on TikTok, Instagram?
So, Coach Tanisha Marie. I'm everywhere. So just type in Coach Tanisha Marie.
No underscores, nothing.
No, just Coach Tanisha. Now, there's other fake pages But you'll see me. I got like 35,000 or 37,000 followers, and then on TikTok and Threads and YouTube, Facebook, basically everywhere. But you can Google my name, Tanisha Adjo. I've been in Bloomberg. I've been in Market Watch. I've been in Black Enterprise Women. So I'm literally all over. So my next goal really is to get on like the Breakfast Club and also Good Morning America. So, I mean, listen, I'm 7%. Me and my daughter are 7% authors in the whole entire world that has written a financial literacy book for Black children.
That's
Not enough
beautiful.
of us doing nothing.
For real. And hopefully one day she gets to continue this passion for herself, write her own books. That's
Right.
beautiful.
Well, she's into fashion. We actually went on an HBCU tour last week. We went to 10 schools, and she's excited. Now. But the only thing I disagree with college is like it costs too much. It's like $200,000 to go to college. Like what?
You know what I'm saying? So are you pushing college away from your daughter, or
No, I'm absolutely not. Because I still believe in education. Like I believe in it 100%. But we definitely gonna get some scholarships.
you know what I'm saying? Some grants up in that world. We gonna work for them.
We gonna get some scholarships because I ain't paying no $200,000.
Respectfully.
That's out.
All right, now thank you for coming up on my platform, of course. We're gonna wrap this up. Check out episode 11 on YouTube, coming out in a couple more days. Swipe up for the newest link. We outside, respectfully.